Welcome back to our third video in the Jets Lens series with Anth from Gangrene UK. How you doing, Anth? You good?
I'm all good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. We're back and we're ready to go, and we're raring to get into these D-line and edge players. If this is your first video watching, we'll give you a quick background. Anth has created a mammoth 290 plus page document analyzing all the players in all the different position groups that fit within the new system, we're going to call it, for all the new Jets coaches, and he's spent a lot of time and a lot of energy working on it. So we thought we'd take advantage of him, and we'd get into it and look at the different position groups. So video one, we talked about cornerbacks and safeties, and video two, we talked about the linebackers, which is just one group for that video because it was quite intense. And where we'll start with this one is something we talked about a little bit last time, which was the move from 4-3 to 3-4, because obviously that affects the middle linebackers, but of course it also affects the defensive front, which is what today's video is about. So, Anth, you are about to bamboozle us with a defensive front, we're going to call it, and then you're going to go into huge detail, for the layman that's listening, about the difference between how the Jets set up last year and previously, and how they might set up this season coming with the new coaches.
Yeah, it's always fun to hear you explain it because
I try my best.
You are better with words than I am because I simplify it almost too much. So yeah, the idea is that we've created a triangle because I think it's the best way to kind of look at how that fits within the coaching. So we've either used a GM, the head coach, and a positional coordinator, or a variation on that. So for defense, we've took Ducker. For the D-line, we've took Ducker. We've took Dunbar and Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Muji sprinkled into the Glenn side. So yeah, there's a lot to look at when we go 4-3-3-4. So I would say traditionally the Jets are known as a 3-4 team, or back when I first started watching.
Yeah.
In more recent years, we've been a 4-3 where we've had the 4 linemen and then 3 linebackers, or 2 linebackers and a nickel. The 3 is a nose tackle, 2 ends, and then the 4 linebackers, which I believe is more Pittsburghy, is the way that people might see it from them. So when we kind of do that, we have to look at what we've got on the team.
Yeah.
And this group it's got a little bit happening in free agency, I'll be honest with you. We have Jerome Briggs, Kalen Saunders.
Briggs, who came in last year. So it was effectively a 1 year, kind of suck it and see type
Saunders
of deal.
Both came in last year on 1 year deals. Saunders came in like October, November time.
Yeah.
Then we have Jay Tefile, who came from Cincinnati, I think. And then the big person who's going to be a free agent in this group, is Michael Clements.
Yeah.
Who?
Well, we'll get into. We'll definitely get into those individuals. I think one thing before we start with this one, and I think this is a really important point with this video specifically, is what we've seen in the last few years with the Jets is there's so much rotation in this position group. People go, oh, you've only got 3 guys on the defensive front, 2 ends and a tackle if you're doing a 3-4, or maybe if you're doing a 4-3, you've got 2 interior guys. But people don't realize how much rotation there is with this. So you always need a lot of bodies, and then you always see, we've seen it every year, the GM, whoever the GM is, making late additions, adding people way after the free agency, way after the draft, after training camp. Like he's just said, Kalen Saunders came in October, and Joan Briggs was a 7th. I think we gave up a 7th rounder, a future 7th rounder for him, or something like that. It was a late addition, and that will happen this year as well. So the sort of asterisks with this video in particular, not a Patriots asterisk. This is a genuine asterisk of all teams will approach it this way. Yeah, exactly. All teams will approach it this way. This this is sort of a evolving position group.
Yeah,
Really.
absolutely. And this is the position group that has the most variation of positions within the positional group.
Yeah.
So if you're playing a 3-4, you essentially almost want to run with a 0 tech. So
Yeah.
you'll hear like 1 tech, 2 tech, 3 tech, 4 tech,
Yeah.
4i, 3i, 2i, all these coming out through the combine. And they are important to kind of give some understanding of it. So like a 0 tech is that guy who lines right over the centre, and he is going to be a unit of a man.
Traditional nose tackle is
Yeah,
what you'll hear it
absolutely.
called.
And
Yeah.
then their job is to kind of guard like a two gap protection, stop the A gap either side, which is a big job, especially with some of the running backs in the league now. Now a 1 tech, they go off the shoulder of the centre, so not right over them, and again they control 1 gap, not 2 gaps.
So that's the gap between the centre and the offensive guard.
Yeah, so
on either side. So it could be the right guard or the left guard.
You can normally see that in a 4-front where your 2 defensive tackles go either side of the centre, not over the top.
Yeah.
Then you've got a 2 tech who are right over the guard. It gets really easy. It's like 0 over, 1 in the middle, 2 over.
The higher the number, the further, almost further wide you're going.
Yeah.
On the facing up to the line is almost the easiest way to remember it.
Yeah, and then obviously a 2 tech, their idea is because they're over the top, they're covering 1 A gap and 1 B gap.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got a 2I, which is this where it starts. It could just be a 3, but it's not. A 2I is where they play inside the guard, but they're not off the shoulder of the centre. So it's B gap only.
It's like an inch.
Yeah, it's like
slightly further over, so it's a 2I rather than a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
the I stands for inch, maybe.
Yeah. So the 2I is the inside shoulder of the guard, and they control the B gap from the inside, so they go out. A 3 tech is the outside shoulder of the guard. They penetrate the B gap.
Yeah.
So they're more disruptive. They are the guy that's going to get through. Within our defense, whichever way we play, the 3 tech is important.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? If you're playing a 4-3, then it's reasonable to assume that a 3 tech is a position generally taken up by one of the interior guys. But now we're playing a 3-4, it's more likely to be an end.
Well, we haven't confirmed that we're going 3-4. It's just like the signings kind of dictate that we might. But yes and no. It all depends on the player and how they want to use them. So you can have a variation.
Like we said before with the rotation, there's so much rotation, and every offense you're going up against will have different setups and different schemes. You sort of need to be adaptable. So you need to play all these have players that can play in all these different positions.
Yeah, and I mean, most of the guys can. But then the one thing I will say that in our current setup, a 4 tech, which is straight on top of the tackle, they control the C gap, like either side of the tackle.
Yeah.
They're edge setters. At the moment, in our 4-3, that's not a massive need. It's like we use it minimally, but equally, we only have 1 4i on the team, really.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be a low kind of thing that we need if we switch to a 3. Because what you're trying to do now really is create lanes and space for the outside linebackers. Yeah.
Rather than trying to use the defensive ends as the rushers.
Yeah, you want them defensive ends to stop the inside gap between the tackle and the guard, and then just stop anybody on the outside if they get round. So you want them to set the edge. The 4i, which is inside the tackle, it's more to free the edge. It is to block the runner from getting through that gap.
Yeah, so it's run defense, yeah.
Now, a 4 tech not important, 4i more important, which is what saved a certain player up to now. A 5 tech, which is outside the shoulder. I mean, these
Everyone
go on.
knows who that player is.
Yeah,
We're
I
going to
mean,
get onto him.
the outside shoulder obviously sets the edge, is a power rusher. We need that.
Mm.
Every team needs that. But then a 6 tech, which is over the tight end, less so needed if you're going to set the edge because you're going to have your linebackers and things like that. So it's interesting that the 6, the 7, which is inside the shoulder of the tight end, and the 9 wide outside are less prevalent within what we had before the addition of of Dunbar.
Yeah.
It changes a little bit with Dunbar.
Yeah.
Which adjusts a few players a little bit. But equally, it's kind of, it starts at a 0, then you have a 1, then a 2, then
you move
3,
further
3i,
out, yeah.
4, 4i, 5.
Yeah.
And it goes out.
So let's use that information then and look at the guys you talked about that are going to be free agents. You talked about Saunders and Briggs, and who's the other interior guy you talked about? Clemens is we're going to call him the edge for the purposes of this video. There was one other, Kalen Saunders. Oh, and Tufele. Yeah, Jay Tufele.
Yeah.
So how does that affect those guys?
If we do this based on us going to a 4-3, right?
3-4.
Sorry, yeah, 3-4. Because I'm literally, the screen in front of me has got 4-3 wrote all over it. Your tackle will be your anchor. They will be the person that essentially is controlling 2 gaps and potentially 3 players.
Yeah.
Big role. Your 4 eyes are your control guys. They're going to stop that run. They're going to stuff it. Then you're going to have outside linebackers or edges, depending on how you play it.
Yeah.
And they're going to be your contain guys.
Yeah.
One of them will be your attack. But the whole thing about the 3-4 front is that you stop anything up front, so they have to go big, and you put the game in the hands of your middle linebackers and your secondary.
Yeah.
So those players, I mean, when we start looking at it, J1 Briggs, for me, is a 3 tech that doesn't really fit where we're going. Not for any.
He was good last year, Briggs. He was good last year, but that doesn't mean to say he's going to be good this year because it's completely different coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, I mean, his issue is he's a little bit small to be given that main role, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't quite fit that. He is purely a 3 tech. He doesn't really do anything else. And that's something that I feel Darren Muji does not get behind. You have to be able to fit into a couple of looks. And that will come up quite a lot through this. Like, their primary roles versus their secondary roles is important. So, like, Jay Tufele, I'm terrible with vowels.
That's fine.
He is a 4i secondary. He's a 3T, 3 tech like primary. But because he can fly, he's got a bit more of a fit. He flashes getting through, but he hasn't been like, this guy wins every time. And for me, a lot of it comes into his pad level's not great. He gets hands on and he gets stuck.
But that's specific technique rather than necessarily fit.
With like, he's fit. He would be a good rotational player, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be upset if they went, we're going to keep this guy and we're going to put him in for certain things. Absolutely spot on. Perfect.
And then Saunders?
Saunders is, for me, the one that kind of stands out because he is a strong fit to be a rotational 1, and he can play 0. He can be that one guy. He's also really good in like 3 tech in the red zone when you need to get that stop, because he is a big man.
Big guy, yeah. Do you know what's really interesting as well with him coming in October? You wonder how much at that stage in October, Muji and Glenn knew they were going to change it up. So they're bringing in players
Well,
already that they think are going to fit. Because when did Quinnen get traded? It was about that same time,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Well,
Yeah. So
I'll break the wall here because obviously we don't like to say when we're doing these. But with the things that came out from Harrison Phillips.
Yeah, which we saw. It was we're recording this the day after, I think.
Yeah, the day after.
The Harrison Phillips news that came, the interview that came out.
I think you can kind of see with the additions of like Mazzy Smith, Caelan Saunders, there was a reason.
Yeah.
And I don't think so much it was... I just think Quinnen may have been stuck in his way. I think Sauce may have been stuck in their way.
Yeah, 100%.
And
yeah.
they didn't want more coaching. They just wanted to win, which became a detriment to the team.
To someone who's trying to re-coach the team and find a different way of playing. But that's really... I'm glad you mentioned that because Marzi Smith and Harrison Phillips are two people I wanted to touch on. They're under contract. Yeah. So it's not like people are saying, oh, well, if we lose, Briggs and... we might lose Tufele, then where does that leave us? It's a weak room. We've still got Harrison Phillips. We've still got Marzi Smith. We think Caelan Saunders is a good fit, plus he was brought in October. And we're about to talk about our favourite defensive end as well. So there are still bodies in the room.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if we lose a couple of guys from the free agency.
You've also got to think, with that, we bring in edge rushers as well. So we have the Will McDonald, we have Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah. Who played out traditionally sort of outside of the four in the last system, but they might actually play. JJ might play on the outside of a four, but certainly it's possibly more likely Will McDonald will go back to an outside linebacker.
Well, that's the thing with JJ. What you're getting is you're getting an edge who plays 5 tech, 7 tech, but can also play 4i, which then makes him very valuable because when he's on the field, is he going to set the edge or is he going to be the guy coming to smash your quarterback in the face? You don't know.
Because you don't know. When the defensive line is set up against you, don't know what he's going to do because he could do one of about 3 different things.
Where Will McDonald, for me, in a 3-4 becomes more of an outside linebacker, more situational. I'm going to go and jump the line and smash that guy. I'm okay with that. Like, yes, he was a first round pick and we dropped collateral on him. But if we play to his skill set, we've seen it in games where we've used Will McDonald in the right way and he gets 3 sacks a game.
If there's a setup next year, we've talked about the linebackers already, and let's say we have drafted at 2nd overall, we have drafted Reese, and you've got Reese and you've got Will McDonald lined up as the 2 outside linebackers, and you've got JJ standing on the edge, setting the edge. That's frightening to any offensive line trying to protect their quarterback, and because how do you disguise? Do you know what I mean? What you're going to do when you've got people coming at you from all angles?
Well, that's it. And the one thing that's going to split everybody who listens to this video is a 4i is important within either setup to Dunbar, to Aaron Glenn. Now, we're not saying that this player is the solution, but Michael Clements is a strong fit in what they want to use. He has got power. In all fairness, 95% he is edge disciplined when you're asking him to contain. When you're asking him to get through, useless.
Yeah.
But we have seen him being that guy in front of Will McDonald, stopping anybody getting through, and Will goes around the outside. We've seen that. So this can be used. This comes to that thing again of how much is Michael Clements going to cost to keep, or can you replace him with somebody better in the draft that is cheaper? Now,
but it takes the pressure off to some degree, right? Yeah. Because if you get him relatively cheap, because he's not going to cost a bucket load, is he?
No,
because he hasn't put the numbers up, and he wasn't a particularly high round draft pick.
No.
So
go on. The big worry we have within this room right now is that on the depth chart, Michael Clements, Jay Tufele, and Caelan Saunders are all our immediate backups.
Yeah.
If they go, we're left with Tyler Barron, which not terrible, but needs to cut and needs to develop a little bit. He's a 5th round pick from last year. Mazzy Smith, who I think's got great potential to replace Jay. That's fine.
A former 1st round pick, by the way, from the Cowboys. So,
and then you've got Peyton Page, and you're
Yeah.
going to go, who?
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
He
I
played in
don't.
the very last game of the season, didn't he? Wasn't he one of the ones that played?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't want to rely on somebody that was an undrafted last year that we've seen one snapshot of.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same
Yeah.
as Eric Watts. I think Eric Watts is one
Yeah.
of the funniest guys I think I've ever met.
Mm.
But at the minute, I'm not sitting there going, everything's on you.
Sure. But yeah. So it's sort of, it's a funny one where there are bodies in the room, and we know it's a flexible position group, so there'll be more brought in. But it's definitely one I would suggest you can look at free agency, but because it's such a flexible group, you don't need to back up the Brinks truck and bring in a big, high value, expensive defensive tackle, because you've got the draft and you've got that flexibility as we go into the later in the off season and then even into the first couple of weeks of the regular season.
We're more in need of a tackle than we are an edge at the minute.
Yeah.
So at the minute, our edges under contract are Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Braden McGregor, who I like, and Tyler Barron, Eric Watts, and then Kingsley Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that as a starting point.
Yeah.
Maybe adding free agency.
You didn't mention Clemens there either. So if
because he's not under contract.
Right. Yes, but I'm saying if they then paid him,
if they then do that,
like, okay. We're not saying they're going to pay him a lot, but they could pay him because he is a good fit, and the guys coming in might look at it and they'll go, well, we know what he's done, but we also know what he could do.
Yeah.
With the different style of coaching,
especially considering the addition of Dunbar is huge, because look at that Pittsburgh line. It was mean. It was big. Was it flashy? Can you name all of them? Nope.
Didn't need to be.
But they do the job to let their superstars play. And I think that's what we might see this year. Now, that then opens up, obviously, the draft.
Yeah. Well, before we jump into the draft, very, very quickly, are there any names in free agency that you're like, this could be an interesting one to look at? I mean, not necessarily a flashy guy, but somebody that you kind of go, oh, he could be quite good. Maybe somebody from the Steelers that's coming out, or somebody from the Lions. We talked about Anzalone on the linebackers video. Is there anybody that sort of raises your eyebrows?
I'll be honest. In interior D-line, I'm not looking at edge right now. There's a couple of names, but nobody.
Nothing worth paying, but something that might make a difference. You know.
I mean, there's a couple. I mean, there's ones to watch that I think they might look at just because of where they're coming from and who they are. I'm just trying to find one that I go, yeah, they would look at. But I'll be honest, there's not a lot there. When we start going the players that have played good snaps, we then got to have to compromise because of age.
Yeah.
So, DJ Reader from the Lions is 32.
Yeah.
Played about the same amount of snaps as Jermon Briggs. Obviously, you've got Sheldon Rankins over at the Texans. Put little homecoming for him. But there isn't anybody. But equally, I don't think many big guys that play D-line get the hype. I mean, we could go with Mike Pennell from the Chiefs at 35, but he's 35-year-old.
Yeah, but these are the guys. With the guys we're talking about, a lot of these guys, they're not, as you said, they're not the hype, splashy guys. No. Because these are the guys that do the dirty work and create the room, like we said about the Steelers. So. This isn't going to be a splash move in free agency. This is going to be another kind of we'll bring this body in to sort of better fit the mold of what we have. No one's going to be running out and buying the jersey of the new defensive tackle all excited.
Now you're going to have to. Now you're going to have to.
Now we're going to have to, exactly.
And then the same when I look at edge, there's players there like Quitty Pay, Joey Bosa, there's names there.
Mm.
I mean, Hassan Reddick, if you want that car crash again.
No, yeah.
AJ Epinesa. There are Arden Key from the Titans. There's names there that people know that have done good things that might fit well.
Mm.
But it's that
We
thing.
don't have to push the panic button because we've got. It's such a flexible group.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, let's go. Let's get into the draft then.
I would say I
Hey?
wouldn't be shocked if they pulled the panic button, because again, we're doing this based on this lens has zero statistical put into it. There is no numbers. This is all on style of play, position of play, and history of play.
Yeah. Let's get into the draft then. So obviously we've got the second overall pick. Very quickly, is there a defensive tackle or a defensive end that you could see the Jets taking it to? Is there anybody who's that high value?
Not a 2.
Not a 2.
I mean, yeah, Ruben Bain, I could argue. David Bailey, I could argue.
But it might be a trade back to get more capital and take him in 4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it going, both of those guys are featured starting rushers.
Yeah.
We have 2 of them. We have
already
2 good ones of them.
Yeah,
McDonald
so it's not
JJ.
it's not enough of a need to go and burn the second overall pick on it. And reality is their value is probably to us is probably lower than it is to other teams, and other teams are going to go and get those guys before they're going to be available at 16. So there's no way Bailey or Bain gets to 16. So we can almost not rule them out because we don't know what the Jets are going to do, but in terms of taking them at 16, it's not likely to happen. No. Is there anybody at 16 that you think might be there that could be within this D-line group?
I mean, the D-line, yes. And I think the thing is with D-line, although, like we said, it's not a flashy position, edges and D-line tend to go higher than maybe they should on their ability within the draft.
Mm.
Now, this is another one of those. I have, in the D-line, I have 21 players in my 250 top players.
Great.
Within that, I have 3 that I don't see us looking at. That I just don't think they fit, or they're practice squad camp bodies that I would put into the camp, but I don't expect to see them play for a year or 2.
Okay, so we can sort of effectively rule them out.
Yeah. And then there is a guy that I'm going to check where he fits on my list, because I have him quite far down, I think.
This is a potential elite fit, is what you're talking about now.
Yes, so I have 2 elite fits, and I have one guy that I've got ranked at number 81.
Okay.
So the number 1 player on the D-line is Peter Woods.
Yeah.
He's from Clemson.
He's a first-round pick.
100%.
Yeah, right? But he's not the guy you have at 81, is he?
No, he's not. I have him in the top 10. So Peter Woods is like a foundation piece for a defense. He is an immediate starter. He sits inside. He's awesome. If we take him at 16, very happy man.
Absolutely. It's a if he gets to 16 is the question, really.
100%.
But if he's there at 16 and we take him, no problems.
And then the next 5 players within the draft are what I would class as strong fits. They fit us, but they're not an all-rounder. There is some things that they'll need to work on, which every player coming in will have to work on something.
Yeah.
But theirs are a little bit higher for me. So that's Caden McDonald from Ohio, Caleb Banks, Kristen Miller from Georgia, Lee Hunter from Texas, and then I think it's Dominique Orange. From Iowa.
So of those that you just said, that's the 5. Like the first 3 of those, I would argue, are probably going to be late first, early second in terms of where they've been projected to go in draft boards.
I mean,
so you're looking at those and you're going, maybe 33 is the place to take them if they've fallen.
33, I would 100% look at Kristen Miller from Georgia.
Yeah.
He is an anchor, so he plays 0-1. His floor is so high that he's one of those players that I would say this player will not bust. He may not be a superstar, but he will not bust.
But that we said before, with this position group, what we need is players that are just going to be solid,
Yeah,
and that create the opportunities for splash plays from other guys. So the other guys' names on the back of the jerseys, these are the guys doing the dirty work in the trenches.
yeah. So then
To some degree,
the next player on my thing, D line number 7. This is the player that I'm looking at going, if we can make this happen, make it happen.
okay.
Right, this guy will replace Harrison Phillips next season,
Okay.
or even this season, and he will be the starter. They will rotate, right? It is Dante Carleone from Cincinnati.
Oh.
He is a true 100% nose tackle. Like, if we're going through,
He's a perfect fit.
if we're going 3-4,
and
this guy, like,
he's got a great name as well. Come
yeah.
on, Corleone. Come on, that's like the Godfather.
Essentially, what he's going to do is he's going to take out that A gap on both sides. He will be a double team magnet, which then we both know from what we've just spoken about. You double team one player, JJ or Will are eating.
Yeah.
So everything about this guy, it makes me kind of like go, I've got him at 81. He's going to be there in the 60s, I would imagine.
I think so. I mean, look, I've seen him fall into that 104 area for me a couple of times in my mocks. So whether he gets that far is a bit of a risk, but that might be one we're looking at and going, well, if we got a really great offer for 33, because what people have got to remember about 33 is it's the first pick of the second round. So there's always going to be players that dropped from the first round, and teams are looking at each other going, how is this guy available at 33? We can't risk him not being there if we're at 35 or 36 or 38 or wherever. So we'll give up more capital to get up and swap, and we're in that position. We are effectively the first overall pick, if you like, of the second round. So there's a chance that the best thing to do with that pick is actually to trade it and move back, and then we'll get a third rounder, and we're in that deal at least we'll get a third rounder, and that's the kind of pick you could then go and let's go get somebody like Corleone, or it might even be, and we're going to talk about in a future video, it might even be where you get your quarterback with the way the quarterbacks are, but we'll talk about that in another video.
So on the D line, like I said, most of the players are strong. They fit positions. So as we see things happening in free agency, if we re-sign people, you can look at this list and go, right, I'm going to look at this guy. I'm going to look at this guy. Because if we need somebody who's going to penetrate and get through, like Grayson Holden of Oklahoma, he's great at that. I mean, he's not as good at stopping the run, but he can get through. So it all depends. I started this in week 3 of the college season, so week 2 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
So all of my things are always updating on how they fit. But equally, a lot of my assessments are done on how they fit what we're doing now, as opposed to what we could be doing in 3 weeks, 4 weeks time. When we look at the edge list is a little bit different.
But you did say edge is less of a need.
It is, but it's a very nice need if you've got an extra pick. When you've got 12, there's some people there worth looking at. I can't get upset if we take an edge rusher. I mean, at 2, I can't see it.
Yeah, we talked about Bain and Bailey as the 2 premium ones. Look, if it happens, we're getting good players.
Oh yeah,
don't get me wrong.
I'm not going to be upset. But it's one of those where I don't see a major need right now. If we change it around and we go, right, Will McDonald is now a linebacker, we might trade JJ. Who knows? We might let Will go. We don't know. If that happens, Bain or Bailey come in. If they have amazing interviews and sell the team, they come back on the board. There's lots of kind of variation on it. Now,
maybes,
there is probably 5 that I like in this class. We won't talk about
Is
all
that
of them because
including
they're all
the
very
the
similar.
Bane and the Bailey and the guys we're probably not going to take it to?
No, I like those guys. If they're there at
So, yeah,
16, maybe look at them.
yeah,
If I'm
but they
being
won't
honest,
be.
probably
So,
not.
so there's 5 other ones, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there's some good players in this group where they're all
Okay.
strong fits. They all fit within a need of what we do.
Mm.
Like, for example, R. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma. He's a speed rusher. Like,
Yeah.
he's so fast off the mark. He's got so much energy. He's not great on the run. He's not great on rush plays. But if we need somebody who's just going to rush, this guy is perfect.
What's his projection? Would you say? Where have you got him?
I've got him at number 8 on my edge
A
chart.
defensive end or
Yeah,
just a whole D
he's an
line?
edge.
Edge.
And then let's see where he goes. That's never good.
This is the problems with a 290-page document, right? It's
Yeah,
sometimes
so
finding the information is
what it is because when I've put it onto the Excel sheet, it's R. Dot Mason Thomas, and on my
right.
other
So
sheet,
searching
it's
for our
R
dot is really hard.
space. I've got him at 39, so actually he's not that far
39.
down.
So he's realistically he's potential at 44 is where we're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then if you want to go late rounds, where there's some guys that
This is what we like. This is where the good stuff exists, and this is where everyone's leaning into their screens and their phones and going, "Oh, go on later. Give me some guys we can get with the 238th pick, please."
So I like. Well, I say he's not that late. Tyreek Sapp, Florida.
Who's that? Sorry.
Tyreek Sapp, Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is like he's a run first, short yardage base guy. Elite motor, like really strong on the run. Everything else is kind of above average, but not great.
Okay.
If
Where is he on your board?
Right, Sap is. I really want to try and go for somebody really late on for you.
Yeah. I have a feeling Sap's like 120-ish, I think, from memory.
Yeah, 125, mate.
125. Yeah. So again, he's that. The issue, if you like, we have is we have a gap between 104 and 175
Yes.
with our picks. So anybody in that range is tricky. But then there's a chance where draft boards have happened like this before. He might drop all the way to 175, and if he's there, you run the card up.
I mean, at 162, I do have a really good edge rusher.
Go on.
It's Mikal Kamara from Indiana.
It's a great name, isn't it? Mikal Kamara.
And he is a very much so he's rankings across the board are strong, adequate, elite, and his
Right.
fit is strong.
So just go through those. So strong for what?
So
strong for what?
He's got strong get off. He's got rush plan and finish is strong. So he's good that way. He's adequate in the run integrity, and his motor is elite.
Great.
This edge rushing class, motor wise, is absolutely fire. At the combine, I'm so excited to see some of these 40s versus side to side drills.
On the Underwear Olympics,
yeah. This is going to be some big men running fast, and I'm quite excited.
Yeah, be good.
Then one player that I wouldn't be against going for is Dominic Bailey from Tennessee. He would be so rotational, but it's a nice late kind of 200.
Yeah, but this is it. We need those. You need those late guys that you kind of go, because there's something the Jets have got. We've said this before. Is we've got a bunch of picks. I think we've got 5 picks, haven't we, from 175 onwards, which is really where you're rolling the dice on a potential high ceiling guy. Do you know what I mean? That you can coach up. So we've got so many of those. We can just roll the dice and kind of go. None of those guys are going to be immediate starters, or at least you can't expect that from them.
No, but I mean, I do have Trey Moore about 8 picks ahead of Justin Jefferson. Not that Justin Jefferson.
Talk about Justin Jefferson. I know you like Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson's a linebacker that just kind of he sits in like linebacker 17 on my board, but he's just not very good in coverage, but he's great in a run stop. I just like him as a stuffer.
But run stop is something we struggled with last year.
Yeah, and I think that's why
where
I
is
like
he
him.
on the big board? Where
He is 203.
203.
Yeah.
So again, he's a great one with a fun name that we could go and get, and it's a it's a high what we said earlier, high ceiling, low expectation if you like.
Yeah.
But let's
So
see
it's
what
a
happens.
high floor, because where he's starting is a bit higher than where you would imagine from there. But will he ever reach his ceiling? I'm not sure.
That's
I mean,
great.
I've got Justin Jefferson one pick behind Diego Pavia.
The quarterback out of Vanderbilt,
but
who we will talk about. That we will talk about in a future video. I think there's some really interesting names there, mate. And do you know what? I think this has been my favourite video so far because we've really got into the differences between the different styles and the setups, and I think this will be really helpful for people. As always, if there is a name that you like in free agency or you like in the draft and you want to put it in the comment for the videos in YouTube or on Facebook, you can put the name in the comment and Anth will do his best to check in on the regular, and then he'll put that person through his system. Or you can just do the heavy lifting yourself and download the document from the Facebook page, right, Anth?
Yeah, it'll be in the file section at the top of the page.
File section, top of the Gangrene UK Facebook page is where it will be. So you can get it yourself, or you can pop a name into the comments section, and Anth will let you know what the fit is like and what his big board projection is on that player. And that's it, I think, for now. We've got another video coming up. We're going to talk about offensive line, tight ends, and running backs, which will be a fun one. And a lot of people want to know about a certain number 20. So I'm sure we'll get into that one. Anything else before we leave these people on the rest of their day, Anth?
Always good chatting, and I can't wait for the next one.
Can't wait for the next one. Great. Okay, guys, JTS, and we'll see you in the next video.